All right, friends. Canada Reads 2023 is over. And I'm just going to share a few thoughts and go over my list of how I wanted it to go. This is the first year that I've actually watched them live. And I didn't really watch them in full before this either. Like, I'd look at, like, if they were doing, like, a little interview with the author, or, like, sometimes I'd watch little clips of them doing something with it, the book trailers, that kind of thing. I wasn't, like, fully invested in it. And then my friend got me, like, super hyped up for this year, and I had read all the books beforehand, which I didn't do the last year that I talked to you about this. Like, before this channel, I'd just kind of be like, oh yeah, there was some books. I'm gonna buy a couple of them that seem interesting to me. That was it, you know? But yeah, my friend got me super hyped up for this year, and so I was watching it live for the first time ever. And that's stressful. I was so stressed out at some points in time. I was like, oh my god, we're voting already? Like, oh my god, okay. No, I'm not ready. Especially today being Thursday, but you're gonna see this Friday. When it came time for voting, I was just like, oh my fucking god, I do not know how they're gonna go. I was just sitting here like, oh my god, like, I'm giving you time so that you know who is won and the order that things are in. So I'm going to say right now, go away if you don't know and don't want to know yet. I'll count to 3. Okay, so I was sitting there like, oh my god, is Station 11 gonna win? Like, that is like the last fucking book I want to win this. I was like, it's like the book I want the most against the book I want the least. And I was like, they're like, okay, time to vote. And I was just like, but honestly, I think yesterday, the Wednesday, might have been the most stressful for me when it was between Duck Station 11 and Hotline. I was sitting there and it's like, 2 for Ducks, 2 for Hotline, 1 for Station 11, and I'm just like, oh my god, they're gonna fucking kick off Ducks. I was like, I can't handle this. So yesterday was like super stressful. Like, I was texting my friend, like, we're both watching it live, so we're just like texting back and forth, like, oh my god. So, like, yeah, Wednesday was actually more stressful than Thursday for me, I think, but at the same time, they were both quite stressful. Like, I was anxious about Thursday's show. I was like, oh my god, it's over, what's gonna win, oh my god, like, freaking out. But, I mean, I got there. Some thoughts. I think I'm not a fan of Keegan Connor Tracy. Just nothing. I'm like, what's appealing about her? And I'm like, I have nothing. And then I found out we went to the same school with the same major, and I was just like, I hate you even more. I felt like she kept interrupting people and, like, dragging stuff out that didn't be dragging, like, revealing some really weird personal things. And then she was talking about, like, the Filipino immigrant experience of, like, her mother-in-law, but the way she talks about it, it sounds like she's making it her own experience, and I was like, that seems weird. The vibes are off. Did not like her. Just didn't like her. Michael Grey Eyes. Hello. Got a low-key, like, chill vibes crush on that man. Oh my god, and then the phone call on Thursday where his wife's talking, she's like, hot, and I'm like, girl, you ain't wrong. Like, I really liked how he didn't try to rush through any of his arguments, even when he was in, like, the timed portions of himself. He was just, like, very calm, very, like, straightforward, cool, chill, so chill. I was just like, this is delightful. Like, everyone else is trying to, like, fit as much as they can in that 1 minute to tell you about it, and he's just like, no, I'm just gonna tell you about it regular. That's how we go. And I'm just like, I like that. Like, at one point I was like, do I want Station 11 to win because I want him to win? I got so confused for a hot minute, like, wait, what? Tasman's little earrings on day 1 and 2. She had the mushrooms and then she had the snakes. I was like, that is so cute. I fucking love that. Adorable. Adorable. So on theme. I loved it. I loved that. Like, good choices on her part. Which brings me back to Keegan's fucking outfits. Like, what? Love Gurdeep. Love Matea. I just, like, all together, yeah, just fantastic. I got way too invested in it. I definitely started crying this morning when the winner was announced. And I, like, walked into my husband's room because he working from home today, and I'm just, like, crying, and he's like, oh no, what's wrong? And I'm like, my book won! And he's just like, that's a good thing, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, it is. It is. So, let's talk about the books and the order that I had them in. I had Mexican Gothic to be eliminated first, which they did. But then I had Station 11, because I did not like Station 11. I was like, I feel like Canada doesn't need a pandemic story right now. And, like, this is written well before our pandemic, but it's just kind of like, I don't think we need that. Like, there's people who are not ready for that. There are people who are not gonna like that. Like, I still wear masks when I go out. You know, it's still people that I don't trust that I'm not seeing. So, but, like, I walk around, like, I went to the fucking dentist yesterday, and they're inside of a mall, so I have to go through the mall, and it's like me and one other woman was wearing masks. Not that it's a very busy mall, I don't have a lot to go on, but, like, looking in the shops and everything, no one's wearing a mask, and it's just like, this is the reality of, I am high risk by medical nature, and therefore, I'm disposable, and it feels real shit. But that's a tangent I'm not going to go on. Point is, I did not want Station 11 to win. I then had Hotline in third. And then I had Greenwood. Because I loved Greenwood. But hearing Keegan talk about it so much, and the way that she viewed it, I was just like, do I not like Greenwood anymore? So, and then I had Ducks to win, right? So basically what happened was, these basically just switched places on me. Oh my god, like, Station 11 and Greenwood switched places on my list, and that was pretty much how I went versus them, which is pretty cool. You know? I was like, I wasn't that far off. It's literally the same, just 2 books switched. All the other 3 stayed in the same spot. So, I thought that was neat, that I got real close. I mean, it's out of 5 and I had 2 wrong. That's like, you know, percentages, but I'm not upset with how it ended up, because like I said, I started to hate Greenwood because of fucking Keegan. Like, do I still like the book? Is really a thought that I had. The way she was talking about it, I was just like, and, like, other people had valid points about it, and I was like, yes, I understand and respect these points. I'm like, do I just not like these points because they're coming from her and I apparently fucking hate her? Like, I had no idea I would have such a reaction to not liking someone on this. Because, like, I remember watching Once Upon a Time. I don't remember a lot of it. It's been a while, and, like, I never finished it. I stopped watching because it just got, like, absolutely fucking batshit insane, and I was like, the fuck is this? But I was just like, I don't like her. I actually don't think I've actually seen Michael Grey Eyes in anything either. I believe he's in Rutherford Falls, which I wanted to watch, but I wasn't willing to pay for Peacock to do it. Might pirate that later. Pirate TV shows and movies, not books. Okay? So, I was fucking ecstatic that Ducks won today. Like, fucking ecstatic. Like, I was crying for a good time, just, like, so fucking excited that a graphic memoir is the one book to shift your perspective that all of Canada should be reading. I was just like, oh my god. Like, because in my mind it's always been a double shift. it's been a double shift from it because, you know, it is this thing of like the oil sands sort of being a microcosm of Canada because there's like people from everywhere, all different like races, genders, ages, etc. And so it's kind of like this microcosm of everything, but like doesn't behave like you would expect Canada to, but then you kind of realize towards the end, like, oh my god, it kind of does. It's just like the way it all kind of like goes together like that, and you're just like, oh my god, and you're just thinking like, as a female presenting person, it's just felt very real of like, yeah, I've been in that situation before where I've been like surrounded by men in my profession, and you're just kind of like, they're creepy. Sometimes they're real creepy, and you're just like, are you normally like this? Did this place do this to you? Like, what is going on, right? So I just like felt it on a personal level, and I was like, it's gonna shift some people to be like, oh my god, like, really? Like, it's going to have that shift between like all the different things of the gendered violence, the misogyny, you know, the environmental impact, mental health, drug addiction, like colonialism, like all of that. The way you think about it. And like Matea made such good points that I didn't even think about. I was just like, damn. I never even thought about like the way that this interacts with this, and like then Michael brought up like the agency of the people who go and decide to do this themselves anyways. Like, they did decide this, and no one set them there, and but like they're still exploited and like all this kind of stuff. I was just like, my god. Like, I've already like read it, been my pick to win, and it's still shifting my perspective. But then yes, my double of it, literally the format of the literature presented is something that people often will not give a chance because they're just like, oh, it's a comic. But like, no, it's a graphic memoir. It's different. And it's always a difficult thing to explain, like, why are you reading comics? I'm not reading comics, I'm reading a graphic novel. Not that there's anything wrong with comics. Personally, not for me. I don't like a big serialized thing. I prefer condensed. It's just me. But yeah, so like that double perspective shift of like, ooh, this is a valid form of literature that I'm going to give a shot to now. They have literally shifted your perspective into what you're going to read. So, am I pleased at how it turned out? Obviously, yes, because I'm mostly right. I said my piece about Station 11 versus Greenwood, and just very much came down to the people defending it, as was a thing that I said, I believe, in my, I think it was my prediction video, that like different people have different ways that they normally have to like think and present their thoughts based on just like the form of media that they're in, what they're doing in real life, all that kind of stuff. So like, I feel like it very much came down to just how the people presented and championed them. Like, Michael Grey Eyes was so fucking chill. And I feel like that calm and like the thoughtfulness putting forward his thoughts was a big thing in helping Station 11 get so high up the list, up the ranking. So yeah. If you have not seen these and you want to watch Canada Reads 2023, it is available on CBC Gem, CBC Books, CBC something else. I was watching it live, so I was right in the CBC Gem app doing that on my computer. But yeah. I got pretty close. That's pretty fucking cool. I mean, will I go again next year and get them right? Who knows? Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you around next time.